Question 199. What convention of our society do you wish no longer existed?
Religion.
Yeah.
Yay! I think that's a bit big to be classed as a convention.
All right, fine. Christianity.
No, I think that's too big.
Damn. All right. How about we just get rid of the social construct of gender and sexuality? We just let people be who they are.
I'm up for that. That's a fantastic one.
Does that count as a... Yeah, that is a social construct.
Yes.
So that would be a construct of art. I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah. I mean, you can even preface it if you want. The social constructed parts of dirt and dirt.
Right.
Well, I will say that,
yeah, sure.
I will say that I do think that there is some sort of biological basis to gender, but there's a lot of social constructing going on here.
Right. You can't get rid of gender because it's biological, but you can get rid of
sex.
how society treats
ideology, most definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I assumed what you meant was the prescriptive attributes of the societal construct of
everything from
limitation.
There's the pointing. There we go. Yeah, because I mean, I deal with enough of that shit. I'm one of the lucky ones. I don't get it as bad as a lot of trans folk do. So, you get it at all. It's not fun, but God, some of us, God, we get it badly.
Wait, 2
if
seconds.
It wasn't so bad, and this isn't meant as a dig, there shouldn't be need for an LGBTQ.
No.
It should be
right.
That's who you are.
This is the point. There's all those things.
Have you seen the meme that comes around whenever Pride Month starts? What is it now? Be thankful that you don't need a pride. If you've ever seen that one, and it's like the people who complain that we have a Pride Month and we have the parades and all that shit. It's like, why do you do that? Why do you be thankful that you don't need one?
Yeah. No, again, all these things, all these labels that we tend to have within our group should not exist.
Yeah,
they should not be identifying things.
What did Rainbow say?
That was definitely good. Labels was something I wanted to say was my answer.
The problem is you do need labels. This is the problem. You need stereotypes. They are shortcuts in the brain that let you
really
function.
Stereotypes? You need stereotypes?
Yes.
A human brain has to define and file things. That's unfortunate.
Okay, I got that.
Wait a minute now.
Maybe it's definition that I'm concentrating on.
Because I was going to say, when you say stereotype, are you talking about the exaggerated emphasis on certain qualities?
Yeah. To some degree, yes.
Okay, that I could do without.
The problem is everyone needs it. You need it to some degree.
You're saying they need a litmus. They need a extreme and minimum to
No, the point is what is broken in our society with stereotypes is we assume they apply to the individual, where they don't.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's all right for me to treat all Icelandic people, right, that are abstract to me as X, Y, and Z. Because it is an abstract notion. I don't need to think about any one of those people as individuals. The cost to me doing that is too great.
Okay.
Right? Now, an individual person, an individual Icelandic person, I should treat as an individual. Right? And you can take this down to race. It's entirely reasonable, if I never meet a black person, for me to treat black people as a stereotype. As a group. Right? But it is not reasonable for me to treat a black person as that group if I meet them. If I have to treat them as normal. And this conflict between trying to treat people as stereotype and trying to teach them as individuals is where society has broken this idea.
But I can speak, and I had touched on this yesterday. And from the military, they train you not to look at, race and ethnicity and stuff like that. They did used to do the gender, and then they started as like, all right, no, you're a soldier. Yeah, but you
use the stereotype of soldier. And then you use the not soldier, you use civilian. You group people differently. I'm not saying that what the groups we have now are arbitrary mostly.
Well, is that a stereotype or is that a classification?
The same thing, basically.
There's where my confusion was coming from.
Yes, because so my family's Hispanic, I was born in the United States, and I'm bilingual, and I consider myself Hispanic. But you look at me, I just don't have the appearance. And in life experience, the moment I open my mouth and I start speaking Spanish, everything changes. The stereotype is applied, and I'm no longer treated with quote unquote respect anymore, and I'm treated as an Hispanic who doesn't belong to society.
Yes.
So and so often the stereotype is used as the basis or the brunt of a joke,
Right.
where you were exaggerating, and that's supposed to be funny, and that does the individual no good at all.
Right. Because I have been shunned from opportunity because they found out that I'm Hispanic.
Yes.
At first, they're like, "Oh, you're bilingual. You speak both languages." It's like, no. You got it wrong. I'm Hispanic. I don't speak Spanish. I am Hispanic. And there things change. So when you say stereotype, the definition has to. The definition is
I'm willing to go with definition. Like I said, I use stereotype because it's a way of simplifying how people group people in their heads. I'm happy to go with descriptions or another label. You need to be able to categorize people.
Agreed.
I wanted to hit on what Brainbug had said, what the man had brought up, was hate. The problem with that is, there is actually I won't call it a good hate, but like I hate Hitler. I hate what bigots do to people.
Yes.
And that could be a motivator.
Hate would get rid of that, I think, because they wouldn't act that way if there was no hate.
No, but you're going to have
classism, hate. But nobody listened to me.
Go on.
Classism.
Bullshit. People that are poorer in this country get treated like crap.
Oh yeah.
People that are rich are it's a fucking oligarchy in this country, and it's garbage. It's got to stop. So classism for me, definitely.
Yeah, the bourgeoisie needs to be
eliminated.
You're right.
The problem is the merging of. I haven't been able to work out fully whether or not the merging of categories is to the detriment of the members of the categories.
Are we just human?
Of course we are, but you still have to group people in a meaningful way to, again, you can only deal, I think it's with about 140 people. Your brain can only comprehend about 140 individuals.
At one time.
Yes.
Or within
No, at one time.
A small period of time.
I don't know the time. It's that you can class, that you can hold as anything more than abstract. And that includes if you've got people that you remember. You can forget people and learn new people into that.
Right.
Well, if you live in a city like New York,
literally thousands of people. Yeah, I've literally come across thousands of people.
Yes. Right.
But I can.
Right. So the point
really
is, you have to be able to deal with all those other people, and by not teaching not teaching each other, by not teaching our kids that you have others. You need an other category.
So you're saying, for instance, say I'm having to make a police report, they're going to want a description, and unfortunately, some of that description may be something that is usually looked down upon, such as it was Hispanic, they were, they were Hispanic, they were black, they were white, they were whatever, and I can understand what you're saying.
Well, the other thing is what really annoys me is because we're taught other is bad right now. There are loads of little things that teach other is bad, and the other category is the one where we should be teaching people that the random stranger you should treat like this, and you should not trust. I think about it a lot in terms of trust. Okay, if you have you're driving along, I'll go with being female because it's worse. If you're driving along and you stop at some traffic lights and someone knocks on the window, you wind the window down a crack to talk to them. Right, and
maybe you do.
But just wait. And the point is you say that they would turn around and say, "Well, can you wind it down? I want to talk to you. You want to wind it down more?" And they try and talk you using it. Well, don't you trust me?
No, I don't.
Most people won't say that. That's the problem, because we're not taught that others should be in this category. They take advantage of the fact that it's disarming to us by saying, "Don't you trust me?" Even though it's a complete stranger and you shouldn't.
And this is what I really
That's an
hate
automatic way to put me on my guard, is to say, don't you trust me? I'm like, well, why the fuck should I?
That's not how most people react, unfortunately.
It's a real thing. I distrust men I don't know.
I mean, you shouldn't trust anyone you don't know.
How to not trust men I don't know. This is what's really fun. And here's another show I've got to do about being on both sides of that divide. I mean, I was trying to be a boy years ago. And then I finally transitioned to look like what I really am. And I got to see how society perceives both sides. Oh, my word, it's enlightening. As a guy, I would have walked down the streets any time of day except for certain select neighborhoods. And I would not worry. I barely go out of the door anymore without wondering, okay, who's behind me? If I hear footsteps or I see a shadow that's at a certain distance from me that remains at that distance, I start wondering what's going on. What am I in for?
I think that's exactly what Dave was talking about, because you said something that he's probably biting his lip about it. Actually, certain select neighborhoods. What caused you to?
The certain select neighborhoods are those that are known for violent crime, and I have lived in some of those neighborhoods.
Right.
The people themselves are fine. They're wonderful people. But unfortunately, the crime statistics, there are more violent crimes in those particular neighborhoods than there are in surrounding areas. One of those is the Homewood neighborhood of Pittsburgh. The first week I moved in there were three fatal shootings in the first week within a mile of me. And it's like, welcome home.
I find the arbitrary shootings in America very odd. Right. I find the arbitrary shootings in America very odd.
Yeah.
I find gun control in America very odd. So, right.
It's because everybody has a gun and no one knows how to use it.
Yeah, but no one knows how to use it. I'll agree with it. And the point is, there are other countries with more guns.
But I see them practice safe usage.
Yes,
like it's part of tradition to show. Okay, so
I love Niagara Falls. I love the stats for Niagara Falls on both sides of the border, because there's the same level of basically of gun ownership on either side, and one of them has like 1 or 2 murders a year, and the other side has hundreds and hundreds.
Gee, I wonder which sides you're talking about.
Yeah,
Canada's rough these days.
The whole thing is, and here we go stereotyping, but the U.S. is full of angry assholes. And
why? Because that's a trait that can be changed.
I don't know. I wish I could figure that one out.
Right, I need to run through the chat.
I'm actually going to have to contribute that to religion, because there's so much stifling. You have to, when you regulate every little thing in your life, it pisses you off. And there tends to be, because how many atheists are actually in prisons?
Not that many.
Not America.
I think we're things like 0.02%.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those odd things I've seen people mention a lot, that in a lot of respects, the fact that the UK has a state church has made it a more secular country than America, which is a country that should be more secular.
Everywhere is a more secular country than America.
Yeah, America. Yeah.
This is fucked here, even though it's not a Christian nation, which is not. It's not built on it, but there's just so fucking much of it.
Right, just quickly, I've got to go through the chat, because there was a lot of answers we've skipped. Jerosa said secret society. Santi said religion. Paul said religion. Gibbler said racism. Paul says the fucking Pope.
All right.
Santi says the consent of faith. Right, I agree. Racism again. Oh, I've lost the damn chat. It skips forward.
Oh no!
Never mind. Don't practice. Then we got onto stereotypes, project negativity.
I'm with you, Mr. Shadow Kitty. Shadow Kitty says it's a victim of violent crime. I'm always vigilant when I'm out. Suffering your first victimization, if you want to call it, of violent crime. Yeah, that really puts you on your guard forever after.
No, and there's something else broken, but if I go into it now, I'll be here for the next hour. And that's assuming there's no sidetracks and I just monologue. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.